Okay, so like I said, we sort of just kind of as an impromptu way of the Senior Rubies, Senior Rubies Unite, getting together, having this sort of brainstorming session. It's a very organic way to talk and share ideas. There's not a format. So we just kind of take it away, but I did put some questions sort of out on the pages. So what do you guys want to focus on? And one of the big ones is, let's share how we train new people. Because I think that's, where we're at, it becomes so much about your team and duplication and team growth. I know for me personally, kind of getting to Senior Ruby was a lot of my own efforts and my own strength. And now it has to be about the team. And so that training is so important. So I'm just going to throw it out there. Anybody wants to share something they are doing that they think has been successful, or maybe something that they think has been not so successful, that can help us as well.
I'll chime in first and kind of talk a little bit about how Gwen and I in the past have handled training our new ambassadors on our team. We have in the past tried to have one big training event, maybe like at the end of every month. And then we've also tried, and that's been pretty successful, except we've run into some issues trying to find a place to meet, to house everybody. Another way that we've been doing it is meeting at the coffee shop and maybe training, 2 or 3 at a time. We've been stood up a few times. Some have been successful, some have not. We're trying to figure out a way that's a good happy medium. And I don't remember who said she thinks she might be enabling her team, but we sort of feel that way also. And we were ending up training a lot of our downlines, our levels 3s and 4s, and our level 1s and 2s were not stepping in, and they were depending on us to get their teams trained. So we've kind of stepped back a little bit on that. So we would like to know, we have posted some things on our Facebook page as far as this is where you need to start, and just pretty much step by step what you need to do a successful ambassador, knowing that they can always contact us if they need us. But I sort of feel like we've been so hands-on, and now we've sort of backed off, and where is that happy medium?
Mm-hmm.
We were killing ourselves meeting everybody.
I bet. I think Natalie raised her hand.
Right.
And it wasn't just on the phone. It was trying to meet them in.
Yeah. Did anybody want to speak to that? No. I'll share, because I've gone through the same thing, where when I first kind of started was doing these really big trainings once a month, and that had a lot of the same scenario. And sometimes I think because, sometimes you're forced into different scenarios, and with my cancer journey, I've been forced into some different scenarios where I couldn't be all things to everybody, because probably naturally I would have been. So I just recently started doing I call them Wednesday 101 calls. So every Wednesday night we do a Zoom call for our new people. And for a while I was doing those, but that felt like a lot on me, so what I started doing was having my team leaders, each week a team leader does the call, we do it together, and it's their responsibility to get all of their new people on the call. So I'm just sort of like the backup and gave them a script. So for example, this past week, Jerry Isom did it. She got all her new people to come on. So we had about 5 of her downline. She led the call, and then I just kind of backed her up. That seemed to work pretty good. And then this past Wednesday, I was in the hospital, so I couldn't do it at all. So I had one of my team leaders step up, and she decided to do it a little bit different. Instead of doing sort of that basic that I generally do, or I just kind of go through a Facebook post, list of 100, those basics, she took the approach, all her, teaching people how do you make $500 a month with Plexus? So she took sort of a different angle. And so that was sort of enlightening to me, that just by the sheer fact that I couldn't do it, she steps up and she kind of has her own twist. And I think it was really beneficial. So I don't know, sometimes just leaving it to them without a lot of guidance, you'll be surprised what people come up with and how well they do it. So.
I have something I can share. Hi, I'm coming in late. Can you guys hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so last week I posted on the page it was like an aha moment for me last week, being on this little Zoom chat. So I'm actually out of town with one of my rock stars, who she'll probably come say hi for a minute, visiting with her. And but I was like, I have to get on this call though, because it was just so good for me last week. So anyway, what I did, because I have the exact same, it might have been me who said that, like I have been like almost handicapping my team because I do everything. And I think part of it was like pride in the sense that I don't want anybody to think I didn't work for it. So I'm going to work really, really hard. And even if I get to diamond with just level 1s, I'm going to do it. Like that's just kind of been my, I don't know if that's a good mentality, but that's just sort of how I've been this whole time. So what I did last week is I took 2 girls who, they work hard, they want it so badly, but they don't know like how to they're not like producing, if you know what I mean. Like they're doing everything I tell them to do, but they're not like getting anybody. They're not, one is sort of halfway to gold and the other one has been trying to be silver forever. So it's like every time she gets a new person, somebody quits. It's crazy. So anyway, I just messaged both of those girls. They don't even know each other, and I just told them about like I would love for them to host a Facebook party. And I said, I know you both can do it. If you don't want to, it's okay. I can ask somebody else, but I really believe in you. Like I made them feel like I chose you, and they both like were really just like, wow, thank you. And every time they asked me a question, I purposely let, like we were in a 3-way chat, you know? So I just backed out. Like I didn't answer them till like the next day, and they figured it out on their own. And it went really well. Both of them got an ambassador. One girl got a customer. And we opened it up to my whole team, so even somebody else got an ambassador. So, but it's just like hard for me to be like, I'm not being lazy here. I'm going to let them do it. Or I'd be like, well, what do you guys think? What do you think? She's like, what prizes should we do? I'm like, well, what do you think's well? Like, I just kind of just backed off. Well, then on my team page, I was like, okay, these 2 girls did fabulous. Who else is ready? And I had like 10 people that I didn't even expect. And so 2 more girls are hosting one, and I'm totally hands off. And on Monday. So, and they're actually using Joanna's Facebook outline. And I showed them the link, and I said, before I had a chance to upload what Joanna sent me, they actually reached out to her. I didn't even know it. They messaged they were talking to each other and like, oh, we got this, we have Joanna's outline. And I was like, oh, good job. Okay. So it's just like, they did it, I was just really happy. So that's something I'm just sort of now trying to do. I don't know if that helps, but
That's very good.
I don't know.
I can add a little bit of something to that. I've been doing the coffee talks lately with some of the girls, and that's been really helpful. But this is the neatest thing. Y'all was in Hilton Head this summer over the 4th of July. And my family, we're just driving down the road, and I see this big Plexus sticker on the back of this van at somebody's house. It was a house we'd rented before. So I'm like, I have to say hi. I mean, I know that's weird, but so I went and put a note on her car. Anyway, she ended up Facebooking me, and we were friends. Anyway, so neat, y'all. This came from her. She's a girl from Kentucky, and I thought this was brilliant. We're going to implement this with Zoom, and she does rank training. So they get all the newbies together on one call, all the silvers together on one call, all the golds, because everybody is at a different place. And that's what makes it so hard, because, some people don't know what you're talking about. Other people have already heard this. So I thought, brilliant. I mean, how brilliant is that? So we're going to start, I think, implementing that. I can report back on how that goes. But we are going to start doing this every week and have a set time for newbies, a set time for silver, gold, and then maybe just do, senior gold and above. So I'm excited about this. I think it's going to be fabulous. Another thing I did, I don't know what came over me, but it was like after the call with you guys and just knowing we're all in the same boat and everybody struggles. You hear your team over and over, like, I feel like our little baby birds, and we're like, fly out of the nest, please. And they all say, oh, I can't get anybody. Oh, this, oh, that. But then we know the tools we have. We have videos, we have motivational books, we have all these things. So one morning I got up and had my coffee, and I was just sitting there and I started just typing out, and it just came out of me. It's like, what I do, what I know I do, and everybody does different things, and we're all sharing ideas. So I compiled notes that I had, ideas from you guys, ideas from videos I've listened to, and I literally made a list, and I will share it with you guys. I don't know where it came from, but it was 200 just little things like, order your business cards, watch YouTube videos, make your list, have your DMO, just all the things that we do, the 5-3-1 rule, all these things. And now I have that, and I'll share it with you guys if you want it. So when somebody says to me, I can't do this, I don't know anybody, I don't know what to do, I hand them this and say, go through these 6 pages, highlight what speaks to you. If you do what is in these 6 pages, come back and tell me you are not flying now. Because it's like we have these tools, we have each other. And I think if we don't take advantage of that, then we're all stuck. But we don't have to be stuck, because we have it. And
Will
we
you
all
share
have
that? I would love to hear it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll share that with you guys. I'll put it on our page and you guys can have that printed out and share it with your teams. I've given it to all of my new girls. And it's so funny because they're like, I have my DMO. Like, it helps them because it's, you know, it just gives them guidance when they're stuck and they can't think of what they should be doing. So anyway, that's what's worked for me. And I'll report back on the Zoom rank training because I'm excited about that.
That's a cool idea.
Can I add something onto that that's exciting that you just said? We have a training in Southern Maryland tomorrow, and it's so funny that you said that because that is like a 10-minute segment of my training is about you have these tools and you're not putting them to use. And I say almost that thing where it's if you're doing all of these things, I guarantee your business is going to jump forward. I'm so with you on that.
Yes, no more excuses. That's right. No more excuses.
Gwen and I have said, don't you just, I mean, and to a point we do say, if you will just do what we tell you to do, then you will be succul. But you have to do what we tell you to do. It's like your children, you know, just get it done.
I can ask a different question. I don't know how rude this sounds, but what do you do with those who do everything? Like, we'll go through that list, but they have some kind of like socially awkwardness. You know what I mean? Like, I hate to say that, but there are some people that I have a couple, you know, and I don't know how to help them because they do everything I say and
personal growth.
I don't know.
Yes.
The books, the personal growth books and videos. Yeah. Because we have some of those too.
One thing that I've discovered about some of my people, because I have a lot of girls and guys too, but girls that really want it. I mean, they're in it, they're in our page, they're coming to trainings, and they just can't get there. One thing, sorry, my voice, that I've discovered is there's a lack of belief in themselves. There's so much of that going on. And now this is sort of my platform, but I think it's a problem with women in general that oftentimes they've been told maybe growing up or for so long that they can't do something, you can't do it, you're not good enough, you're never going to succeed at that. And I think there's so many grown women that walk around with this feeling of I can't do it. They don't have the confidence. And so even though we're giving them, I feel like I've given them the tools and I'm showing them the nuts and bolts of it, if they're missing that sort of that confidence that says, yes, I'm capable, yes, I'm good enough, yes, I can do it. Right. I don't know that all the tools in the world are going to solve that problem. Mm-hmm. So that's something recently that I've sort of seen and trying to kind of hone in on my team, the people that maybe need that extra kind of boost. And I had this is kind of a neat breakthrough. So last week, instead of featuring on my team call, a lot of times, you know, I'll feature the good speakers, the ones that have the great testimonies, the ones that are already rock star type leaders. They're the ones that get asked to the call. But instead I took a different approach and I did it called How Are You Dressed for Success? And we did like a little Maui theme. It was fun. But I chose people on the team that weren't rock stars that I could tell needed that sort of extra confidence boost. Yeah. And I had one girl who had an absolute, I mean, it was really actually emotional with her sharing on our team call and becoming vulnerable and sharing the things that her roadblocks. But because she did that, and she said she would have never done that if I hadn't pushed her and made her kind of do it. And then the following week, you know, she follows up and says, it was amazing. I gave out my business cards this week. I have people on, you know, I have prospects now. And it was a breakthrough. So all that being said, sometimes I think we need to look at what's going on inside someone and figure out how to get them, build that confidence in such a way that they can even use the tools. So anyway.
I've been walking in the mornings and just like, 30 minutes, whatever time I've gotten, instead of listening to music, I've been listening to Sarah Marble videos. And I'm telling you, I come in and I'm so fired up. And to me, those videos show you that even the diamonds felt exactly like we felt. And sometimes the fear gets in the way. Like, it's not even how they feel. It's how they feel about themselves, but they really think they're different, that they're not like us. And if they listen to those videos, they talk about it over and over again. You know, you've got to deal with the fears. You've got to deal with the belief in yourself and the company. It's been so helpful. Like, I've listened to some even more than 2-3 times. And I come in and I just want to like stand from the roof and just scream, you guys can do this. Like, it's amazing. Mm-hmm. But you have to pour into yourself. It's like you said, the personal development is huge. And for these people who are shy or not sure about themselves, that can be a huge tool for them just in life, in their journey, not just with Plexus, in life. For themselves. Like, that's huge to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I totally agree. I feel like I've been focusing a lot on back to basics, and kind of building the belief and seeing them see the vision. So I try not to get past all that point until they get to that point where they see the big picture. So I'm trying to really build belief, and then I focus on, like, I feel like they get overwhelmed or they get lost in all the information and all the resources, and they don't know what direction to go. So I've been trying to tell them to find your own path. Like, what is your why? And don't lose sight of that. And what is the reason why you joined to begin with? And so we focus on that a lot, but I feel like we're focusing on that so much that there's no growing. It's like all talk and no action. So I'm trying to implement more of a lot of what you guys are doing, the Facebook parties, and doing that to get them to step up. But you really have to push them to get to that point.
Well, what about events, you guys? I know around here when we do events, we see a pretty good surge in everyone's excitement.
Like locally, where you?
Yeah, we'll just do local events and trying to get different team leaders to run them.
Well, I don't know if you guys noticed in your area, majority of them that you end up opportunity meetings, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That come are ambassadors.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where I've noticed that.
Yeah.
Well, I would say if that's happening, that what we have leaned on really goes back to the Eric Worre GoPro, where he says, you have to focus on a narrow range of skill sets, one of them being promoting events and inviting. I would go back to that because that's been something that I've leaned on when people say, but nobody's coming. Go back to that language and go back to those skills that he very, very clearly outlines how you're approaching people and how you're promoting the events, because and some of them may not be taking the steps to do it, which goes back to what we've already said. So in our training that we're starting up, this one is going to be where they have to, on a scale of 1 to 10, talk about what their belief is in the product, their belief in the company and the opportunity, their belief in network marketing, and their belief in themselves. And then within that, after they do the scale of 1 to 10, we're going to give them, well, if you're really low on this particular quadrant, those 4 things I think are so important. And if you're really low on that, here are the books, the videos, and the training calls that I think you need to immediately go listen to until you bring that belief level up on that particular topic. So when it would come down to people, whether they're inviting and getting people there, I think that's a lack of belief in one of those quadrants, either in themselves for going out and approaching people, a lack of belief in the products,
right,
or a lack of belief in something somewhere. So
are you pulling that from, where are you, is that
my head?
Your head? No, I really like it because that's how I feel, that you need to have the belief first before you can get the action going. And
absolutely. Nothing else matters if you don't have that in every single quadrant.
If do you have that written out?
Yes, I can send it to you. I have to go get some stuff printed, and one of my kids has a half day today, so I'm going to do this call and run, but okay. I will upload it.
That's kind of the approach, I guess, maybe that I take with my team, is having them find their own path, because I feel like a lot of people follow a lot of these leaders, and which is great, but then they're following them and not doing anything for themselves. Mm-hmm. And so I've been trying to find your own path, build that foundation and then start growing and building, so you don't feel like you're going to fall apart when you hit the top.
Right.
Something that I did this summer that really worked well was I did a Road to Gold challenge, and I'm kind of not being pushy, but I'm kind of putting it out there that I wanted serious people to join, and I only had 20 spots to kind of make it a little bit more enticing for them to join if they thought I only could have 20 people in the group. And so I allowed 20 people in the group. And I don't know if you guys have ever done the Road to Maui challenges, if anybody's done those. It's kind of similar to that, except it's a little bit on a smaller scale. It's easy challenges that once a week they can do to build their business. And basically they had a time frame to do that challenge in. And if they didn't do it, they got booted out of the group. So I kind of was just, I wanted serious people that wanted to rank. And out of those 20, I had 5 to rank gold in 6 weeks. So it did work. I'm going to start another one for the 1st of October. But I think sometimes I get lost in forgetting about, I need to focus on the people that want this. I need to pay extra attention to them. I need to quit begging people to work their business, begging them to, reach 100 PV every month or whatever it is. And I think I waste a lot of time on that sometimes. And I do get frustrated when I plan events and opportunity meetings and then my ambassadors cancel on me. I need to guide them to let them know we don't need to cancel. If 5 people come, then that is a successful event. We need to keep our word if we're going to book something. I've been struggling with that a lot this last few months. I'll have people that will be all in. They want to book an event. I'm going to come and do the opportunity meeting for them. And then 3 or 4 days before they want to cancel. So if anybody does that to me in the future, I'm going to say, great, if you want to cancel, I'm still coming to Indiana. I'm going to do the event whether or not you can be there or not. So yeah. I'm kind of getting a little bit more bold, and I'm going to let fear just go to the wayside. I'm just going to go and do these things even if my people don't want to do it. I will go to their area and do an opportunity meeting of whether or not they're going to show up. But if you guys want that information for the Road to Gold group, I'm happy to share it with you because it was successful. And I put people in there that weren't even silver yet, and one of them got to gold in 6 weeks. So it's just things that we don't even think about. What, Brandy?
I think that sounds great. I would love more information on that.
Me too. Me too.
It's kind of like a tough love.
Yes.
Commitment that you have. I mean, it's tough love like your children again. You
yes.
want them to be successful, but they've got to want it too. And if they don't want it bad enough, then they're not going to get there because you can't make it happen for them. I love that idea.
Are we going to post this on the thread for the call? It sounds like underneath where the call is, where the call link is, just so we can all find everything we're going to be sharing.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Is that okay? Okay. Good.
Yeah, that sounds great.
I'm actually in, I live in Tampa, but I'm in Jacksonville right now because one of my girls, she's going for a walk with her little one right now, but she was with me a 1.5 years, and she just decided a few weeks ago, she's been praying about a way to get out of debt. She loves the product she's never shared, and she's added 14 people this month to my team, whereas before she's added nobody. So because she just decided, she's amazing. Where did this come from? It's amazing. But she wanted to have an event. But she's been signing all these people, meeting with people, doing her own thing, and just doing really well. But we're doing one in Georgia tomorrow as well, her home church. So we're going there as well. But last night we were planning, we actually rented a room at a big church for $50, and we ended up coming just to her house because only 2 people came. But 2 of those people, and one of them joined right on the spot. So I'm like, I was still a success. The other one ordered, and I don't know. We still had it, and it was fine. There was 4 of us were ambassadors and 2 guests. So, and 1 joined on the spot. So you never know. We still did it, So we'll see.
Yeah. Sorry, y'all. Well, I think someone did mention about events. You know what? If you have 10 ambassadors and 2 guests, that's 2 guests. That's a full. My perspective is you have 1 person that shows up for an event. They're serious. They're really looking at the business or really looking at the products. And so be it if there's 10 ambassadors and 1 or 2 guests. That's 1 or 2 people that wouldn't have committed otherwise. So I'm a big, don't really worry about the numbers at events either. So.
And it's good for the ambassadors. A lot of my ambassadors, I almost treat they're still learning too. It kind of builds their belief.
Exactly.
So, 2 of them, like I told you, the one girl, she's just on fire right now. And the other ambassador that came, she actually came She's about to be Ruby. She's on my team. She came from Port Charlotte, which is even further away, because she has a girl in Jacksonville that is just getting started. So the 2 guests came from basically her girl. So anyway, it's good to at least get together and
So I'm just kind of looking back over my notes. The original question that we asked is, what do we do? How do we train our new people? How do we get our new people engaged in duplicating? And it sounds like we're sort of this running theme that the first thing we have to do is build belief. Is that kind of where we're going with this? And really building, so it's not really, and correct me if I'm wrong, like I said, I'm on Percocet, so maybe my brain's trying to process. So instead of like the actual system in place or the nuts and bolts of this is what you do, the first approach is to really build the belief. And I like what Angela said, sort of identifying maybe where there's a breakdown in belief. And so it's really going to be a custom job depending on the person and where they are. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I try to find out why. That's always my first question. And I try to get with people in person within the first 3 or 4 days that they join. I feel like little intimate settings, and I might try to get another one of my level 1s or another person that's a diehard Plexus person to come along with me, because I think the more excitement that they see, the more engaged that they may be right off the bat. I'll also try to help them go ahead and write something to post on Facebook. And even if it's just something, just kind of putting it out there, that even if they were a skeptical person or whatever in the, beginning, I think it's important if they go ahead and do that first post, it makes them accountable right off the bat. And also just kind of puts a little bug in everybody's ear, of what they're up to. And I try to get them to say something like, stay tuned, come back to my page next week for an update, or just something like that. But I think the more passionate from that day one that you can get them to be, the longer they're going to stay with the company.
That's Natalie. On that topic, what you just said is right on par with, that some of us went down to Texas to that Leslie Zann meeting or event. One of the things that she talked about was right on that topic. When somebody's brand new, and we haven't really implemented this yet. I'm working towards getting that going, but I loved it. When somebody's brand new and they've signed up, the very next thing you do is you get 3 people, either your upline, your downline, whatever, people that you're going to do, I think she called it like a round robin or something call, where you get them on the phone. I'm so glad you joined. We're going to introduce you to this person, and this person. And you call, and those 3 people know that you're going to call. It's scheduled. And they have 2 minutes where they kind of tell their quick story. And you say, do you have one tip that you would give to so-and-so, my new ambassador? And they give their one tip, and you go, thank you so much. Have an awesome day. And you move on to the 3rd person. And it's for that reason, to get them, which I feel that went right along with one of the things when I started, that I felt like, if somebody in my downline was signing someone up either for the products or for the business, I wanted them to do a conference call with me, because I knew that I don't know, it just adds that another level of excitement, because you're part of something bigger. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But I loved that strategy, so I haven't used it yet, but I think it's exciting.
I do that. I do that just by example, even with my upline, because even though I'm senior Ruby and I feel like, I know what to do, I want them to just feel part of the team, like it's just another, solid person they feel connected to. And I want to model that for my team. So I keep trying to stress that as well. Like, when you add somebody, let's get them on the phone with me. And then I try not to be the one, like if it's my level 1 who signed, you know what I mean? I try not to, like if it's a level 3 that joins, they need to be on the phone with their upline, not me. You know what I mean? So I'm trying really hard, and I literally have a script, which I think I shared with you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Like what to say to new ambassadors. I tell them, just read the questions. Like, that's all you have to do. Here it is. Like, so you don't have to be worried,
Which I used last night for my first Zoom meeting with a couple of my team members. So thank you.
What do you guys think about calling them a welcome call instead of a three-way call? Because I feel like the three-way call thing almost is a little intimidating, like it's 2 against 1 or something. Like if it's a welcome call, that could be for just a straight-up wholesale person as well. That could be just about product knowledge. How do you take your products? What are you on? When are you going to take them? It could be, then that could lead into the business, but it could also be about somebody who wanted to be, work the business. But a welcome call could be for anybody that signs up as an ambassador. I don't know. What do y'all think about that?
I like that. That's a great idea.
Mm-hmm. I've been actually doing that lately, which it's so awkward for me. I don't know why. I absolutely hate to pick up the phone. It's like our like society these days. But I've been just forcing myself to make 5 phone calls most days. I didn't today because I'm out of town, but I've really been blessed by it. And even if it's just leaving a voicemail, because 99% of the people, if they don't know who you are, they're not answering the phone anymore. So even if it's just like, hey, I just saw that you, like, my goal now is just to call all the new people who joined my team in September. So I'm just calling them on the phone. I'm just welcoming them, can't say that word, welcoming them. And just introducing myself and asking if they have questions about the product. And I just sort of kind of go through those questions too, depending on how that goes. And so far, I've been really, really blessed by it. And I've had 2 people call me back and just really appreciated that I called them. And I don't know, like, just think about yourself, like when you first joined, when you saw like a senior Ruby or like a leader, that, like, I remember feeling like, oh, they called me, like, it's just funny to now that we're in that position, but people feel that way. They really do. Like, wow, you have a huge team, and it means a lot to them that I took time to call them.
Amy, is the phone number in your back office of all these online? Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I just call through the back office. I sort my report as green, and as of date they started, and I just start going through the green ones, and I just welcome them and what questions do you have, and it's really been very good. I've loved it, and I hope to keep. I wish I'd done that from the beginning, but for myself, because I have like a ridiculous amount of like white lines and people, I'm kind of wondering where to go next, because I'm like, okay, should I go back to like those who joined in April, so I'm trying like just being easy on myself. Okay, we're starting it from here on out, because then it just gets crazy overwhelming. And then I also did put on my team page, I have put a picture of one of the Olsen twins when they were little on the phone, and I said something like, this is what I'm doing. If you have somebody you 100% do not want me to call, let me know, because I'm going to be calling. If you're somebody that's newer and you want me to call you, let me know, and I'll be happy to call you. I put it out there, and I said, if I don't hear from you, I'm going to be calling you anyway. Like, I just kind of let them know. And a bunch of my leaders did message me, and they're like, thank you. Like, they want, and they're trying to do, I encourage them to do the same thing. Not that they should be getting, I'm really just doing it for my levels 1 through 3 right now, because otherwise they're going to be bombarded if every, you know what I mean? They get like 7 phone calls from all the upline.
How long are your calls? You try to make them a certain amount of time?
I'll be honest, like, the majority of them are voicemail. People are working. I don't know. But one lady I talked to for like 30 minutes, the one that's a lot of times they're like 20, 30 minutes, just depending on how the conversation goes,
Okay. That's good. That's good stuff.
But the majority of them are voicemails.
There was
like 10.
I think these are really awesome ideas. There was one more question that was sort of put on as far as the topics on the thread. Creating a team page culture and why that's important, in addition to different kinds of contest incentives. Anybody want to share on that?
Okay, I will. That's one of my main things.
Okay.
We do contest incentives quite often, actually. We will put a great video up on our page and say, listen to this video, and comments, let us know what you've taken away from that, and we'll enter you in a drawing. And, it might be a $10 gift card to Starbucks or Target or something, but just those little incentives. And a lot of months we'll do, if you add an ambassador to our team, we'll put you in a drawing, and we'll give away a Plexus t-shirt or a Plexus hat. So it seems like we're doing incentives a lot.
Oh, I'm sorry. I feel like I take over. I'm so sorry. But I have something else. This is exciting. Both of my uplines, like one of my best friends and then her sister, who's her upline, right the month before they turned emerald, they did this big, exciting like push to add 100 people to their team. And both of them have told me that the momentum has even been more exciting than like a contest, which they did have a huge contest as well. But and I was like, how do you do it? She's like, text, videos, every time they're like, and I remember feeling like excited even like, you know, as being on their team, because you just want, and they didn't say, I'm trying to go emerald. It was more like, let's get 100 people. And so they kept posting funny things with the number 100. Like she'd be at Target and see it. She'd post that picture, 100, you know, and then whatever that number is, I remember it was like, we need, you know, 13 more. Come on. You know, it was just this big momentum. And both of them turned emerald the very next month. So I'm doing that. And I actually started, because my Amber, my direct upline, she missed it by like, you know, I don't know, 5 people, whatever. So she extended it the week after because she was giving away a big prize. So I started Monday, and I said by October 31st, and I made a video with my daughter. I actually posted it on my timeline if you want to see it, because it was just too cute that I just wanted to share. But plus, I wanted other people to maybe see how fun we are, you know? So I'm pushing that right now, and I'm just being really silly with it, really fun. I'm talking to my leaders, and like now we need 95, you know, because we've had 5 people join since then. So now I'm posting the big 95, come on, October 31st. And the momentum builds. So I'm hoping if I do have 100, then it's very likely that I would hit, unless like 100 people turn off. But you know what I mean? It's very likely that I should be emerald by November if we really do get 100 people.
Amy, what was the prize? You said that there was a big prize giveaway. What is it? What is it for? What is it for? What are the
for me, what I'm doing something a little different than what they did. But Jana, who is Amber's sister, she's Sapphire now. She was giving away $1,000. Like, I know it's crazy. That's what
was the criteria?
Whoever added the most ambassadors to her team by the time she turned emerald. She started January, and she said she did this big, and she built it up. Like she put like hints before, like she everyone was trying to figure out what had happened. And she said, whoever adds the most people to my team by the time I turn emerald is going to win $1,000. And I am extremely motivated by contests. I know not everybody is, but I become a little psycho when it comes to that kind of thing. I won, and I was like, I will win this, you know? And so I ended up adding, I think, I don't know, like 14 people. And it was just, so she was, you know, that was me. But Amber, the other one, she was giving away a Michael Kors purse. I'm doing what Amber did. She was giving away a Michael Kors purse, like every time you add in an ambassador. Like you can go to my timeline and see my video. But I'm doing exactly what she did, except for my prizes are a little less. I'm giving away a Michael Kors purse you get to be in a drawing. So if you add someone to my team, your name goes in the drawing for as many times. So if you add 14 people, you get 14 drawings, you know? And then, but I'm also giving $100 I'm not doing 1,000. I feel like people are going to do it regardless. So I'm just giving 100 to the person who adds the most. So I'm doing both of those. And that's based, Amber did that, but she gave away 300. I was like, yeah, they'll still do it for 100. But anyway, both ladies said it was the momentum that meant even more than the prizes. Because some people they're just not motivated by prizes, you know? And the company gives us tons of prizes, you know, like, but it's the momentum and the build that really, so I'm going to keep it on. So today I'm making a big 95 thing, and I'm going to be posting that, and I make silly videos and things like that.
It's helpful. It's helpful for me to hear that, because I'm not money motivated. So that's so I learned from people like you I'm not contest motivated, is more the case. So it's really helpful for me to hear that, because otherwise I don't necessarily know how to structure things that is exciting to people. I'm goal oriented, but they're my own goals. That's not does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know why I almost hate that about myself. I'm the kind of kid that won every contest at camp.
No, it's not about
I was always like, if it's about effort, I will win. So my very first month with Plexus, I didn't have any clue what I was doing, but somehow I was like one of the lead people. Like I saw my name on some list that to win $500, and I didn't even know. I was like, what is this? And so when I saw my name there, I was like, oh. But that, seriously, I added 8 people. I had 11 people on my team my first month because of that contest. Like I called my friend and I'm like, you will join me. I will get you customers. I've got to win this. I was like psychopath. I've calmed down and I've grown and I've read some books and I'm better now. But like, it's like, this was just a fun game. Like that's how I thought of it as. Like I didn't realize I was actually going to make money. I don't know. It was just like fun for me.
Does anybody else ever feel conflicted about the contest though? I seriously have like, I feel so conflicted. I've done really large contests like that before, and my husband and I talk about this all the time. You know, he goes to work every day and does a job, and he has, you know, a compensation plan, and he doesn't have someone dangling extra money over him all the time. And I struggle with that because I feel like it's like that mule with the carrot like hanging out in front of him, and I struggle, but I still do the contest. I try to take breaks, but I struggle with that because I wake up every day self-motivated, and I don't have someone dangling money in front of my face or these huge contests anymore. You know, once we get to a point, you know, I don't expect my upline to do these huge contests for me. And so I battle. I don't know if anybody else does, but I battle with that.
No, because I think if you read the 4 color personalities of MLM, I think if you read that, you see that it's just so a difference in personality types. And so those blue, so Amy obviously has a lot of blue in her. It's fun. That's that personality type. I'm very goal oriented, and I'm going to set my own goals, and I'm going to strive for my own goals regardless of what somebody else has set as a prize. But it's just differences in personality. And I think that ultimately you're creating a team culture of fun and excitement and momentum, and you sweep a lot of people up into it. And sometimes people who will go on to be rock stars and have all these other core things about them that the only thing that got them there was you doing those contests. You know what I mean? Like it almost sounds like that's what happened to Amy.
I don't struggle with doing contests. I struggle with doing a $500 or $1,000 contest. I do contests every week. I do contests for swag. I do contests for books. I do contests for watching videos and posting 3 things that you're taking away. So it's not that I struggle with doing contests. I'm talking about the big dollar.
Yeah, honestly, people like me, like I love contests. I would have done that probably for $100. You know what I mean? Like, right. You don't have to do the big giant thing.
Well, and also, we keep it simple, and we do the gift cards and a hat or something. But I feel like if we give all these great expensive prizes away, then is our downline going to try to duplicate that and feel like they have to stay up, keep up with that high standard, because that's a lot.
And I have people, honestly, unless I do a $200 contest, they will not work their business. And that's you know, a struggle for me, because I'm like, are you kidding? Like, you're not going to work this month unless I do a $200 contest?
Well, also, the company gives away huge prizes.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
I have a question, you guys. Yeah. Do you guys budget for contests? I mean, based on your income that you get, do you say, oh, I'm going to give 5%, 10%? Is anybody methodical about that?
I do. I put a little bit back in my e-wallet, like a set amount, just a little amount back there to, you know, use for different things, whatever it is that we're doing. And then that seems to work.
Yeah.
And I agree with you about the personalities, because I love Danny Johnson so much, and she talks about gems, so it's very similar to the colors. And so there are people who are motivated by fun, which is me. People are motivated by a challenge. I could be that way too. But there are people who are motivated just by serving. Like the 2 girls that I asked to do the Facebook party, those girls are motivated by serving, and it meant so much to them that I asked them to do that Facebook party for me, you know? Like there's some people that they are so, like one of the girls that I said she was I didn't mention who she was, but I have a girl she is a little socially awkward, but she loves serving. She loves people, and she gets to be the person at our meetings who signs people in. And it's like something like that would drive me nuts because I don't want to have to stand in one spot. Like, I want to be able to jump around to everyone. But for her, she gets to, like, she absolutely feels so special and loves it. So you kind of just got to determine, like, how people are motivated. And some people are motivated by, like, facts and figures. So at our meetings, I am not that person. Like, you tell me a story and I'll be great, but I don't care about all the, I won't read a big, long, giant thing. So I actually make videos. I really do. I make the detailed 10-minute video of my story, and then I make the 1-minute video for people like me who's not, and I'll even do that on my Facebook timeline. I'll say long post, short version, because I know, like, there's going to be, and I'll make a video version,
Mm-hmm.
So I have, like, at our meetings, like, even last night, we have all from the Plexus Power Tools, all the science, facts, details. I have that in writing for those, because if I start to talk about that stuff, some, like, people like me are going to glaze over and they're like, oh, please get to the drawings, but there's going to be those facts people and those research people, like my friend that I'm here with. She loves that kind of stuff. She doesn't care. She doesn't even know the contest that she won. Like, she was on the list of top enroller last week, and she was like, she didn't even care. She didn't even know until I told her what a big deal that was. So, like, some people just love facts and figures, and that's what's gonna, I try to do all 4 things.
Does anybody think that it would be beneficial? I'm having a really large Plexus party for my team, next month, just to celebrate them. It's not anything with training or anything like that. It's truly just for them to come over and hang out. It's probably gonna be like 25 people. Do you guys think that it would be fun to do a personality test while they're here?
Oh, yeah.
And then, Angela, I don't know if you've ever done that, but it may help me just to kind of know what drives each one of them in their personality. Maybe that would be something fun that we could do while they're here. If anybody has any links to any personality, places or anything like that, I think I might try to do that next month.
I think that's a really good idea, because the party itself, we had a pool party in July that anybody local could come to, and you'd be so surprised what that brings out in people and how it introduces you to people that you didn't actually know. It gives you a chance to connect to people who have a lot to give, or you hear stories from people you wouldn't have otherwise heard, and they connect with one another, which goes back to the team culture. For me, which was huge in the success, was building relationships between other people on the team. So I think that's a really fun thing to kick it off. I would love to do that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay.
There's also, have you guys seen the graphic? I actually just posted it today. You see that? It's got all the colors, and you just post it on your team page and say, what are you? It's a quick way to do it. I just posted it this morning and already have 16 comments.
I haven't seen that, but we did do that back in probably the end of June. But I haven't seen that graphic, but it was a lot of fun watching the conversations get going, and they had no idea that I was sitting there with a notebook.
I know. That's what I'm going to do.
Here, I'll post it right now. There. I just put it on our Emeralds page. Okay, well, we're right at an hour, you guys. Does anybody else have anything that they want to share, add, question, concern, anything? Today's the 25th. Is anybody really close to Emerald today?
We'll see. My upline, Allison, I think may go today. We'll see. So that's exciting if she goes. We can celebrate. I'll let you guys.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else, guys? I know I've got pages and pages of notes again, ready to do some new cool stuff. Okay, well, good. Have a great weekend, you guys.
Night. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Bye, guys.